Yo, what is going on, everybody? Hopefully the lighting's pretty decent or good enough for this video today. What we're going to be getting into is discussing the BRED Air Jordan 185, which, keep in mind, the release for these is approaching at a lot of store locations and some sneakers locations as well in the EU and in Asia, and I believe a couple other regions as well. Not in the US though, unfortunately. I know we were discussing that recently, saying it may happen, but we've gotten confirmation it's not going to be happening in the US. So we got some in-store locations, we got some online raffles, and we'll be going through them all in this video, basically letting you guys know where you can find them. I'll link them down below, and yeah, that'll be pretty much it for this sneaker. So if you guys want more content like this, and the prices have dropped a lot recently, so I mean, again, if you want to buy them, now's not a bad opportunity, or within the next couple weeks. But yeah, again, let's just continue here. So if y'all want more content like this, feel free to subscribe and like down below. Just try to 300 likes on this video. You guys can also check me out. My IG's down below. I'm always buying, selling, trading. So check my story. I got tons of stuff for sale. I'll be posting a lot more tonight and this afternoon. So feel free to stay tuned for that. And yeah, so Resell Vision down below. Don't forget the undermarket sneakers we do every single day. So if you guys like those deals that we do, make sure you guys check that out and do not miss out on some of those, along with the early information we have started to provide. So yeah, don't miss out. We got a lot more info coming up to ping you guys for those drops and things like that, so you won't be missing out. But just stay tuned. If you're in there, you already know. So I don't really need a screen recording or anything. I was about to pop one up, but I really don't need it. Here are the store locations, basically. We got EU and we got the US ones. So as you guys can see, I know that a lot of the rumors, right, we're saying 23 stores, only 23 locations. This is not 23 store locations, right? I know that that rumor was specifically for the US, and yes, it is 23 locations within the US, but I like to think of sneakers on aspect of how much are they dropping globally, right? That usually really lets me know when I should buy my pair, or where the prices are going to be heading, or how hard it's going to be to get. And as you guys can see, I mean, that's not a small amount of stores, you know what I mean? I'm just going to keep it honest. That's a decent amount of locations for a hyped pair, right? I mean, if you're thinking about, for example, past sneakers that had like this level of hype, you know, some like those past Off-White collabs, some past SB Dunks, etc. I mean, just go look at how limited, you know, some of those pairs were, and go look at what they go for, right? And how hard they were to get. For example, the Doritos SB Dunk Low. Obviously, those went for less than these, so I feel like if you actually compare it, it's not a like super good example. But like, for example, some of those Off-White Jordans, right, that were super hard to get, like the Off-White ones, right, Chicago ones, go look what those are going for now, right? Back in the day, I mean, those are like $1,200. Now, you know, they're going for a bag. So it just, I feel like it really depends how many like they're dropping at each store. I don't want to go nowhere with this, but basically what I'm trying to say is that some stores are going to be having more than others. I feel like that's a pretty obvious statement. Also, another thing to say is that some of these stores have been canceling their first come first serve release, which, I mean, I understand that. If you're in a popular city, then yeah, you know, maybe canceling it because, you know, it may cause a lot of foot traffic, some fights, etc. I understand that. But some of them are canceling the first come, first serve release to backdoor, right? And obviously when backdoors happen, it drops the market because more pairs end up on the market. That's basically what I'm trying to get at, is that the reason that prices have dropped so much recently, even though it's been like, none of my local store locations that are getting these have posted them yet, but the prices are dropping everywhere. Why is that? It's because they're selling them out the back door. You know what I mean? Like, this is a normal thing. We saw it with the metallic fives. I mean, those dropped even more in price recently. So if you want them, I feel like now's a really good time to buy. We'll be making a video on that in a couple days. But yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to get at, is that these have been dropping in price over the last couple days because the back doors have been wide open, or have been happening more, you know what I mean? So that's why we've kind of seen that $500, $600 range. Now, rip to any of my people that paid, you know, those hefty early prices, you know what I mean? I'm talking like, if you pay like $700, $800, I'm not knocking you there, you know what I mean? That's totally fine. Like, they will go back up to there within a year or two. But if you paid like that $1,500, $1,200, $2,000 price, you was tripping, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep it real. That's a lot to pay for these, you know what I mean? But you know, again, to each its own. If it's a shoe you like, and it's what, you know, I've overpaid on some sneakers before. You know, it's just, you know, part of it. Sometimes you want them early a little bit, you know, before the release. Yeah, it happens. I did it with my Wizard of Oz, so I'm not knocking nobody, you know what I mean? Because go check the prices on those right now, you know what I mean? I really should have just waited, but we wanted them for the early review, you know what I mean? So I feel you guys on that one, but that's basically all I wanted to get out the way about the store locations. Maybe you see one that might be near you, or maybe you see one that is in your city, because the US ones, I think actually, I had like the city location that the store was in. So just keep that in mind. Maybe you had some that were in your city. Definitely be ready. Be checking on the Instagram of if they have an Instagram page or like a website, something like that, giving you release information. Be checking for that, seeing if they allow you to camp out, things like that, because you might have to do that, or you definitely will have to do that for a sneaker like this, right? I mean, let's just keep it real. Very, very popular release. A lot of people are going to be trying to get their hands on it. If you end up getting lucky enough to hit it for retail, that's a lot of profit right there. But that's also just a very, very nice sneaker to have. Also a higher retail price. Keep in mind, $250 retail. Yeah, they are a bit more expensive, but they're basically flipping for double their price. So and more in some sizes. So why don't we get into the resale prices? Because again, we're just kind of like slowly diving into that. So I feel like now's a good time in the video to do that. We went through the store locations. Again, you can see there's a decent amount, right? I mean, you got the classic backdoor cities too: Orlando, Miami, Detroit, Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, you're sending all the pairs to there. Of course, the prices are going to drop. That's why I've been telling y'all just to wait. I love them, but you send pairs to those stores, you know where they're going. At least half of them, you know what I mean? But as you guys can see, if I can speak correctly, holy crap. As you guys can see, we got the screen recording up right here, and you guys can see that lightning bolt symbol has appeared. So now more people are starting to go out the way and buy their pair. Why is this? Well, because the prices are dropping. It only makes sense. So as you guys can see, most of the prices are now between a range of about $500 to $620. I'm going to put a plus in the 620 because I believe some of those, some of the smaller sizes going for a bit more, along with some of those bigger sizes, 12.5, RIP, 13, 14. That's to be expected. That's actually not too bad for 13. You're within $30 of size 12. Normally size 13 is like 100 more or something just, absurd, but this is actually not terrible. I do think that 13 could drop a little bit more though over the next couple days, because keep in mind, there's still more pairs being sent out to retailers. The release is still going to be, approaching. We're still going to be seeing more pairs hit the market over the next couple weeks. So I think that, leaves a recipe for these to drop in price. But if you wanted to go out the way right now and get your pair, I don't feel like that's a bad idea. The bids are very, very hot on these. These are selling very, very hot. Just take a look. You know what I mean? This is one of the more popular shoes from this year. I mean, they're selling every 10 to 15 minutes. So at these prices too, selling every 10 to 15 minutes at these prices. That normally does not happen. Normally when we see a sneaker selling every 10 to 15 minutes, it's like a Panda Dunk Low or something that's like 100 or 120 bucks. For a $500 or $600 shoe to be selling every 10 to 15 minutes, that should really let you know what the demand is for these. So these will be heading up in price. I'm just going to let you guys know that. So if you wanted to go out the way and get your pair right now, I personally don't feel like that's a bad idea. But if you also wanted to wait a week or so and see what happens with the prices, I feel like that's not a bad idea as well. For me personally, I'm going to be waiting a week or so, see what happens. I'm willing to pay $600, $700 if they end up going back up to there. I will. You know what I mean? I just want a pair to like have back here, like for the video. You know what I mean? So if I end up being wrong, I'm okay with it. But if you were comfortable with going out the way and buying one right now, understanding that it maybe could drop another 50, 60 bucks in price, then just understand that. You know what I mean? If you're comfortable with that, then feel free to go buy your pair. But if you're not comfortable with that, then feel free to wait. That's what I'm doing. Because I'm just going to take the risk and see if they drop a little bit more in price. I feel like they will with the high retail. I mean, still Jordan 1 2025. I know these are the BRED ones. I'm not trying to disrespect them, but let's keep it real. They are Jordan 1s in 2025. You know what I mean? There's just not as strong of a market for them as if they were, for example, to be dropping in 2016, like when they did the band ones. I'm just keeping some of those facts in mind, right? But I mean, you can see the prices here. This is not your average Jordan 1, so I feel like that's one point that we can take away. So for me, again, amazing long-term bet. I feel like short-term they can maybe head up 50, 75 bucks after the release when people take their L's, don't get them at their local retailers. But this isn't going to be like one of those sneakers that you can really pinpoint an exact day when it drops, right? Or an exact day when a bunch of people are going to be going out the way and buying their pair, because there isn't an official US drop. We got one in the EU and Asia, so maybe you could base off when you're going to buy your pair on when those releases are, right? Let's say those releases are on February 15th. You can be like, all right, I'm going to buy my pair around the 11th or 12th, just like 2 or 3 days before those drops, because more pairs will be in. A lot of people will be like, oh, okay, well, we'll see if I'll hit sneakers, and if I take an L on sneakers, then I'll go out the way and buy my pair. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Again, that's when you end up paying more, is when you wait until after the sneakers drop, most of the time, because this is a limited sneaker, right? Now, with other shoes, like, for example, like the Black Cat 3s, you could wait on those, right? Because there was a lot of stock. They dropped at a lot of locations. With these, they're not dropping at a lot of locations. They're not dropping at one of the main spots, Sneakers USA, which again, that's where a lot of resellers are. So that's where, you know, the market definitely gets controlled a lot, is by US resellers. But you can also see them in EU and Asia. They have a lot of control over the resale market as well. Whenever the EU gets a big restock, market drops. You know what I mean? Those boys do not play about selling some sneakers. You know what I mean? And some of them, I don't know how they'd be selling them at some of those prices. So definitely got some questions to ask. But hey, you know what? That's for another day. But aside from that, that's really what we got with these. They've been dropping in price. I feel like they could maybe come down a bit more to like 520, 550, or maybe 500, 550. Going below 500 might be a stretch, just because keep in mind we got a high retail. People are going to be wanting to make some good cash on these. I really don't see people letting these flip for the low unless it's a smaller size. Maybe we could see 7, 7.5, 8 getting a bit cheaper. But big sizes, 13, 12, 11.5, 11. If they stayed where they're at, I wouldn't be surprised at all. So if you want to go buy a pair, understanding that, again, I'm going to repeat this point one more time. I just ended the screen recording, but understanding that they could maybe drop in price another 50, 60 bucks. If you're comfortable with going out the way and buying a pair right now, understanding that, again, they might drop in price a bit more just because we have the release approaching. They've loaded in more locations. So just understanding all those facts, right, it's a possibility. But maybe they've already done the little drop in price because all those places have loaded them, etc. You know what I mean? So nothing else is, you know, there's not really more spots that are going to be popping up other than the releases that will, again, appear over the next couple of days, which we know where those spots are. So that's everything I need to say there. Again, great long-term bet, of course. If you like, this is one of those sneakers that you just got to be paying attention to if you're not a fan of sneakers, a sneakerhead. This is where it all started, you know what I mean? They're finally, you know, bringing it back. So yeah, it's a piece of sneaker history. Definitely one that you want. Maybe not for the personal, but just understanding what it is as a sneaker. Very valuable, would be very cool to have in hand. I'm excited for the release. But yeah, if you guys want more content like this, feel free to subscribe and like down below, man. Let's try to 300 likes on this video. That's the normal goal. Let me not knock over my shoes right here. But yeah, again, let me know what y'all are feeling about these sneakers. You're going to be copping them. Is it one that you want for the personal, or are you mainly just looking to get it as like one you put away in the inventory, things like that? I mean, this would be one that I'd be looking for the inventory, but I bought a bunch of medium models recently, so maybe I should have waited a bit. But, you know, honestly, I'd rather, you know, hold the medium model. But obviously, BRED ones, piece of history. I do still want, like, you know, 1 or 2, so we're going to have to see. Hopefully we get lucky. If not, then, you know, we gotta get the cash ready. And yeah, you guys can also check us out at Resale Vision down below. We're going to be trying to do some of these under market this week. Hey, let me know down below if y'all are in there. You know, just feel free to shoot me a message, or just let me know if y'all would want these under market this week. I mean, we'll probably try and do it, you know what I mean? But I know it's a more expensive shoe, so it's just probably not in most people's price range, you know what I mean? A $500, $600 shoe. We could try and do them, you know, like 400, 500, lower 500s, you know what I mean? But we gotta see, you know what I mean? It's a very expensive shoe, very hard one to get, but if it's one that people would want, I definitely would do that. And we got a giveaway coming soon, so don't miss out on that for like metallic 5s or something like that. So see all the comments. That's all down there in the pinned comment. I repeat myself, as you guys can see, I just did. And yeah, that's it. Geez, all that. I'll see you all in the next one tomorrow. We'll post another video then. And yeah, just let me know your thoughts on those shoes. Is this one you want? Let me know. I mean, I want it, but it's not one I absolutely need, you know what I mean? If I take it out, it's all right. I'll just, you know, be getting ready for some of those fire recipes we got later this year, the Haley Wilsons, etc. Yeah, that's it. See y'all tomorrow on the next one. I'm just yapping now. Peace.
Comes the bottle, you put it in the teapot, it becomes the tea. Now water can flow, or it can crash. In water, my friend.
Sticks made